at the heart of that process. That's the very least.
Not unfairly.
Come on then.
This pain is unimaginable.
Okay, here we go.
And so I call
Rewind
on
it a
everyone
minute. Just listen to Kier
to give
Starmer.
them, and
Here we go.
indeed the
off?
wider community at Southport, the space to grieve, and time for the authorities in Merseyside to do their job. There will be a time for questions, and we will make sure that the victims and families in Southport are at the heart of that process. That's the very least that we owe these families. But we also owe them justice. So while there's a prosecution that must not be prejudiced, for them to receive the justice that they deserve, the time for answering those questions is not now. And I remind everyone that the price for a trial that is prejudiced is ultimately paid by the victims and their families who are deprived of the justice that they deserve. Let me now turn to the actions of a tiny, mindless minority in our society. Because in the aftermath of this attack, the community of Southport had to suffer twice. A gang of thugs got on trains and buses, went to a community that is not their own, a community grieving the most horrific tragedy, and then proceeded to throw bricks at police officers who just 24 hours earlier had been having to deal with an attack on children in their community. And make no mistake, whether it's in Southport, London, or Hartlepool, these people are showing our country exactly who they are. Mosques targeted because they're mosques. Flares thrown at the statue of Winston Churchill. A Nazi salute at the cenotaph. And so I've just held a meeting with senior police and law enforcement leaders where we've resolved to show who we are. A country that will not allow understandable fear to curdle into division and hate in our communities, and that will not permit, under any circumstances, a breakdown in law and order on our streets. Because let's be very clear about this. It's not protest, it's not legitimate, it's crime, violent disorder, an assault on the rule of law and the execution of justice. And so, on behalf of the British people, who expect their values and their security to be upheld, we will put a stop to it. I want to thank all of the police officers across the country who have already, as they do so often, stood up to intimidation and violence in the past few days and throughout the summer. And let me be clear, this afternoon was not about pointing the finger of blame. That is not how this government of service conducts its business, because it doesn't work. Rather, this was a meeting to pull together our response both to the immediate challenge, which is clearly driven by far-right hatred, but also all violent disorder that flares up, whatever the apparent cause or motivation. We make no distinction. Crime is crime. And so to that end, I can announce today that following this meeting, we will establish a national capability across police forces to tackle violent disorder. These thugs are mobile. They move from community to community. And we must have a policing response that can do the same. Shared intelligence, wider deployment of facial recognition technology, and preventative action, criminal behaviour orders to restrict their movements before they can even board a train, in just the same way that we do with football hooligans. And let me also say to large social media companies and those who run them, violent disorder clearly whipped up online, that is also a crime.
I've got a lot
It's
to say after
happening
this,
on your
folks.
premises, and the law must be upheld everywhere. That is the single most important duty of government. Service rests on security, and we will take all necessary action to keep our streets safe.
Is there any more stuff in your room?
I'll now take a number of questions from the media. I'm going to start with Alex from BBC.
Sorry?
Prime Minister, thank you very much indeed. Alex Forsyth, BBC News.
Right.
Can I ask, how concerned are you that the violence that we've seen may spread? Are you providing extra police resources? Are you preparing any clampdown on the far-right groups that are being blamed for this?
Here
and
we go,
indeed,
folks.
if you are,
This is
how
coming
can
now.
you, given that they're often very
coming.
disparate? And
Tommy
if I may,
Robinson for this.
are you satisfied with the way the BBC's handled the Hugh Edwards case? Thank you.
Yeah, well, Alex, in relation to the violence that we've seen, the whole point on pulling together the meeting today was to have a coordinated response. The clear message from police and law enforcement is not that they need more powers. I think we have to wean ourselves off the idea that the only response is to pass more legislation every time we have a challenge in front of us, is to use the existing powers that we've got, pulling together the intelligence, the data, making sure that that is being shared across police forces, and that as these groups sort of bounce from chief constable to chief constable.
This is live, folks, so I'm not going to interrupt, okay?
Robust response to them.
I'm going to listen to this crap and then I'm going to talk.
That this is violent disorder, it's not protest.
We've seen this
and that
live.
needs to be the starting position.
Welcoming
of the police
everybody.
response to it. In relation to Hugh Edwards, look, I'm shocked and appalled, I'm sure, as everybody is in relation to this. The Culture Secretary is meeting the Director General of the BBC later on today. Thank you, Alex. I'm going to try and wean people off the 2 or 3 questions in one, if I may, because otherwise we just won't get through. I've got actually Paul from Channel 4 next.
Thanks, Kier. You mentioned there the national capability across all police forces. We've spoken to your new Labour MP in Hartlepool today, and he says that Cleveland Police was simply overwhelmed. They don't have the number of police officers to deal with what they had to deal with. So will you be fast-tracking the recruitment of more police officers? Will what you're announcing today actually increase?
Oh, for God's sake, sorry about that, folks.
Together so that those that engage in criminal behaviour, which this is, will feel the full force of the law very quickly. And I think that's the most important aspect coming out of this meeting this afternoon. Thank you. I've got Shihab from ITV.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Shihab Khan from ITV News. Prime Minister, how do you stop the far right from hijacking issues, especially when so many members of those groups often say they are being influenced by charismatic leaders who are often pushing for the division that you say that you want to tackle? And the second quick question, if I may, British Muslims up and down the country will have seen these riots or demonstrations, whatever you like to call them, unfold. They've seen mosques get attacked. They've watched as shops have been looted. There have been chants which some would say are grossly offensive. Partly this has happened because of misinformation. They now say they feel unsafe. What is your message to the British Muslim community, and what are you willing to do to make sure they feel safe in their own home?
Well, taking both parts of that, I think it is really important to emphasise over and over again the price paid for those that put out misinformation and interfere in the work that the authorities are trying to do in Southport. The price is paid ultimately by the mums and dads who are grieving their children. Because if there isn't a fair trial that gives them the justice they demand, they are the ones that are going to suffer the most. And so nobody should pretend that they're speaking for those families when they involve themselves in activity like this, because they are putting what is now the single most important thing for those families, which is to grieve properly and to have the justice to which they are entitled. And that's why this is so important. In relation to the Muslim community, look, let me be very clear. I will take every step that's necessary to keep you safe. And that's why I said what I said about mosques being attacked because they're mosques. The far right is showing who they are. We have to show who we are in response to that. And that's why we pulled together this response this afternoon to try and coordinate and make sure that as we face the next few days and weeks, we have the strongest possible response in order to ensure that there is safety for all of our citizens, including those Muslims who will see, as you rightly say, attacks on their mosques because they're mosques. Thank you. I've got John from Sky.
Thank you. John Craig from Sky News. You've talked about better coordination. Clearly, that's one of the purposes of this meeting. How concerned are you about perhaps apparent inconsistencies of approach by police forces? For example, 4 arrests in Southport, over 100 here, different groups being treated differently, whether it's far left, far right, as some have suggested. Resources you've mentioned, smaller forces not being able to cope. We saw, didn't we, in Southport that Merseyside had to call in help from other forces. You've said no to extra police powers, but what about banning some of these far right groups, as Angela Rayner has suggested?
Well, look, in relation to the inconsistency, I don't think you can simply measure the number of arrests and say there's an inconsistency, because that will depend event by event. But look, yes, this afternoon was an attempt and an agreement actually to pull together a national response so that that consistency, that support is there, and the sharing of intelligence and data. That's not a criticism of any of the forces that are trying to deal with difficult situations as they arise on their patch, but it is to give them the support that they need more quickly so that they can react more robustly. In relation to preventative measures, one of the issues that came up this morning was, this afternoon, I'm sorry, is criminal behaviour orders, which can be attached to convictions for these sorts of offences, which then give the police and the authorities the ability to put their arms around and have a tighter grip of those that have already shown their true colours and been convicted. And I would personally like to see more use of those orders in the same way that they're used in football hooligan cases to stop people travelling, identify and prevent their patterns of behaviour. Because these are not people who are going to protest. You don't go to protest with a rock in your hand. You go to commit violent disorder. And we need to be really clear about that. And I think those orders would help us in the preventative space. Thank you very much. I've got Jason from the Mail.
Thanks, PM. Do you welcome the decision to name the suspect in this case, apparently taken to end some of the disinformation? And this is a pretty unusual summit for August. People are going on holiday now. Are you worried about we could be facing a sort of summer of riots?
Well, firstly, on the naming of the individual, that's a matter, obviously, for the court. A decision's been taken today, so that is now in the public domain. I won't say more about that because the purpose of the rules in relation to the information that's available is to ensure there can be a fair trial, and my starting point on that is very much the victims and their families, because you know, and I have seen this in other cases, the price for a trial that goes wrong is paid by the family and friends and victims of crime. In this case, I can't imagine the added pain that would be piled on in this case if there was anything that got in the way of the trial of this particular issue. Look, in relation to what happens over the next few weeks and months, it is obvious to me, and I think obvious to anybody looking in, that so far as the far right is concerned, this is coordinated, this is deliberate, this is not a protest that has got out of hand. It is a group of individuals who are absolutely bent on violence. And that's why it's important, I think, to pull together the senior police and law enforcement leaders, as we did today, to ensure that that is met with the most robust response in the coming days and weeks. I've got Aubrey from The Times.
Thank you, Prime Minister. You said that violent disorder is being whipped up online. What are you going to do to combat that spread of disinformation? Are you going to haul in social media companies? Could you restart the rapid rebuttal unit in Whitehall? And what is your message to Nigel Farage, who obviously asked this week whether the truth is being withheld? Do you think that was responsible for anything?
In relation to the platform providers, some of it isn't as complicated as it may at first seem. So inciting violence online is a criminal offence. And that is not a matter of free speech. It is a criminal offence. Clearly, in relation to platform providers, there's a balance to be struck. Social media platform providers, it's an amazing opportunity that we all enjoy as a country. It is very important to us that these platforms are there to be used for the great opportunities that they provide. There is also a responsibility that goes with it. That's a space for a mature conversation to take place. In relation to the comments of others, look, I'm not going to stand here and cast judgment on what others are saying. I know what I'm saying, and I know why I'm saying it very, very clearly, which is my focus, whenever I'm confronted with any questions about this, is on the families and victims of those, particularly in Southport, who were so affected by this. I would also add the police officers. I had the privilege of going up the day after this incident to speak to the police officers who had to deal in responding, the first responders to this. Remarkably but unsurprisingly, they were back on duty. I was able to thank them for what they had done, but I'm not going to pretend to you that they weren't affected by what they had to witness, what they'd had to deal with. They said to me, as they always do, I was simply doing my job, and of course they were, but doing your job, you know, there's no way what happened to them or what they had to endure, had to respond to, was anything other than extraordinarily challenging. And I think that if we all start with a clear focus on the victims, their families, and the police officers who had to respond to this horrific attack, that will be a good template or framework for the discussion of all of these matters. I've got Rowena from The Guardian.
Rowena Mason from The Guardian. Nigel Farage is the leader of Reform. He did very well, obviously, in the election, and he's been accused of spreading conspiracy theories about the Southport tragedy and his response to it. Is it enough to say that you just won't comment on what he's said, given that some people, including a former police chief, have linked his comments to the violence that broke out in the riots?
Look, I'm not going to run a sort of running commentary on the motives of other people. What I am saying is my focus is on the families, the victims who are at the heart of this, and I think that that should be the focus for everybody. Anybody who says or does anything that impedes their ability to get the justice that they deserve cannot claim to be acting in their best interests, because they're not. Thank you. And I've got John from the Mirror.
Hello, thank you. What consequences?
I don't know why it's just done that. Sorry, my apologies. I know it's painful, guys, but I just want to get it all out and then we can talk about it after. Sorry about that.
Will there be if social media firms do fail to take action?
Well, I think there's a discussion to be had, and it is a balance, and it needs to be the right balance.
Welcome in, folks. We will be talking about
social media is a fantastic opportunity, but it also carries responsibility, and that's the mature discussion that we've had. What we've done today is have a discussion with law enforcement and the police, which is about pulling things together for a coordinated response. What has not worked well recently with the previous government, in my view, is the performative politics of a government blaming everybody else and pointing fingers. In that approach, to me, is not effective. It's the performative politics that I've put an end to with a government of service. My approach is different, which is to roll my sleeves up, get the relevant people around the table and fix the problems and meet the challenges that we have as a country. We did that with law enforcement and the police this afternoon. A similar approach with social media, which is not performative politics, which gets you nowhere, but the politics of service, which is to actually work together to address the challenges that we have and make sure that we keep the country safe and respect the values of our fellow citizens, which are about law enforcement, security and safety. Thank you all very much indeed.
Hey guys.
Okay, that was the Prime Minister, Sir Kier Starmer, giving a national briefing on law and order. An astonishing press conference, in my opinion. Let me take you through a few of the more major points before I have a conversation about them with Chris Hope, our political editor in the studio here. He said a tiny, mindless minority of our society, a gang of thugs, got on trains and buses and threw bricks at police officers in Southport. He then talked about mosques being targeted and talked about Nazi salutes in London. Division and fear has been allowed to prosper. I will not permit a breakdown of law and order. An incredible statement then. He talked about these protests this week. He said, this is not legitimate protesting and we will put a stop to it. He then went on to talk about a national capability to respond to this. These thugs are mobile. We will have shared intelligence, including...
Right. We listened to that. Yeah. Okay, just get that off. Okay, now I know that was painful, folks, but we had to listen to it. I'm sorry, because if we don't listen, I don't want to comment on something that I only heard bits of. If I'm going to talk about something, I like to know what I'm talking about. So we just seen Kier Starmer there. This wasn't a planned stream, so please bear with me with a little technical difficulty. I've got a lot on today. I've literally pulled what I was doing. Amazon are here and pulled what I was doing to do this stream really quickly because I've got to crack on after. AI, if you're listening, the Amazon man's here, and please check WhatsApp. Okay. All I'm going to say is that what I have to talk about, like if I haven't, like yesterday, people were like, you know, getting quite rude and beyond, well, I say beyond rude, you know, name calling. If we don't agree with each other, we don't have to, you know, argue about it. But I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think's going on. All right. So hello, everybody, by the way, welcome in. If you can please hit the like if you enjoy the content. If you don't, then hit the dislike, you know. So I just want to add that I said this is what I've been trying to talk about for a while. This was coming. All right. This was coming. Now, there is a lot of agent provocateurs. I can't say that word. Provocateurs. Someone help me out here. There's a lot of people that want this to happen. Now, I'm not a fan of Tommy Robinson and Danny Tomo, and I feel that they have led this situation. That's it, yeah. What Jason said. Okay, you can disagree with me. Okay, I know we've got some Tommy fans here. Now, yes, there you go, Tink. What they want to do is bring in this provocateurs. Thank you, everybody. You're awesome. Paid operatives, yeah. Okay. So what they want to do is stop protest, stop what they're now calling all of these people. Now, 99.9% of the people that have been protesting are just normal people, right? They just want to protest because there's children being killed. Now, the police, not naming that guy that did that, or allegedly did that, has caused a lot of problems, right? She's caused that has caused a big problem because it looked like the police were covering it up. But I'm going to just put that to one side a moment, right? This now is what they call the problem reaction solution. So they wanted this. Oh yeah, no, yeah, sorry. Thanks. Do you have a cuppa? Please, is that right? Thank you. I've got you some picnics. Did you notice? Sorry, so say I'm doing 1,000 things here. Soon, Gizmo, we'll take you out in a minute, okay? Right. What's happening is that they want to bring down, they want to stop any protest because down the line, 1, 2, 3 years into the next government, into this government now, they want to bring in ID cards. They want to bring in more heavy-handed stuff. Now, don't think that this is just a Labour thing. The Conservatives literally stepped away for Kier Starmer. They wanted it in. They wanted him in. Knew they weren't going to win, and the genuine Conservative MPs were just collateral damage, who were like shocked that this election was called. Rishi Sunak knew he was going to lose, and he was perfectly happy to lose. And if anyone bothered to watch the first day of Parliament after the election, they were all laughing and joking together, chatting, hand on shoulders. It was all part of the plan to get Labour in. Okay, now Labour are going to, the ID cards are coming in the next few years. They know that we are going to start saying enough is enough. So now, when people genuinely have had enough, and we're going to start protesting, planned protests, not violence, not smashing things up. When we've all had enough, and there's more and more of us, because there's more of us than there is of them, we all want to come together. Hi, Dave. Let me give you a wrench. Why hasn't Dave got a wrench? I definitely get. Someone's taking away. That's weird. Right. Sorry, Dave. Hold on. So you can disagree if you want, but this is what I personally think is happening, and I've been saying this for a long time. They don't want us coming together and protesting, so they want to ban it. Now they need a reason to ban it. Now if they use the lead stuff, they would then get called racist, and they won't do that. They won't back. They will always bow down to the ethnic minority. Well, I say ethnic majorities in a lot of cases, because they vote for them. Hi, Joe. They vote for them. So what they want to do, they want to get rid of XL bullies. They want to get rid of any defence. So XL bullies are good defence dogs, whether you agree with it or not. There has been a massive case of these dogs attacking, but all dogs can attack, apart from my little gizmo, which wouldn't hurt a fly. But, you know, so they want to, they've got rid of guns. They want to get rid of crossbows, hence all these crossbow killings. They want to ban as many things as possible that we can defend ourselves with. This was a perfect opportunity for the government to want to bring in a ban on protests. And now, because of all the idiots smashing things up, attacking, 40 police attacked, there's 3 grieving families. And this is why I would not incite what was happening. Last night, some people were saying, oh, you're wrong, now is the time to fight. Where's it got you? Let's look at the bigger picture. Yeah, you're angry. I'm angry what's happening to this country, right? I am angry. That was really fucking difficult to listen to. Okay, sorry for swearing. But you've got to look at the bigger picture. You've let your anger out on the police because of what happened to those 3 girls. Has it brought the 3 girls back? No. Has it brought in now anyone who protests who isn't ethnic is going to be called far right? Yes. And is it bringing in a ban? Yes. And is it helping the police and the government bringing ID cards? Yes. This is all part of a problem reaction solution. The government have jumped on this, and they've probably put some agents in to cause a lot of trouble. And I believe that Tommy Robinson and Danny Tomo are paid. This is what I believe. Paid agents. They are funded. They openly admit they are funded by Mossad. They are funded by the Friends of Israel. They Israel first, us next, right? And they are all Muslim. And it's all anti-Muslim. It's about divide and conquer. Let's make us all fight. Let's make us all not get on. Us against the Muslims. That's what they want. Tommy Robinson is not far right, but they want us to believe that he is, because then anyone that supports Tommy Robinson, anyone who now wants to go and protest outside a hotel because of what they're doing, anyone that wants to protest about what's happened to those 3 young children, those 3 young girls have been murdered, and touch wood, there's probably going to be more. How many has there been now? Look at the Manchester Arena bombings, what they did to our children. Next time anyone goes and stands up, it's going to be far right Tommy Robinson. If Tommy Robinson give a shit, right, if he give a shit about our country, and if he give a shit about any of this, sorry for swearing, he would not be there. He would not be in this. He knows that with his name And Danny Tomo is just a little hanger-oner. And look into his past. Look into his past, what happened in Telford, just saying. They know that by being there, just by their name, it's the Tommy Robinson protest. It's the far right this, far right that. It gives Kier Starmer to come out and say, right, we're gonna, you've just heard it. That was the beginnings of him stamping down on protest. Did you hear him mention the online thing as well? This is all to do with the online safety bill. Yeah. Did you hear him mention we've got to be, the online stuff? They're going to try and stop us from talking now. This is all part of a big agenda. It's bigger than what's happened in Southport. It's massive. And they want to stop protest. They want to bring in ID cards. And they're going to, anyone who goes against the government is now going to be classed as far right. Anyone. Now, so far, I haven't seen one far right protest. And what did I say last night? Last night I did a live stream and they caught somebody with their arm in the air, and I said they're going to say that's a Hitler salute. And what did he just come out with? Hitler salutes at the cenotaph. That wasn't Hitler salute. That was somebody with their arms in the air, you waving back. And they have used this. They have used this to push the far right agenda. Why on earth would Tommy Robinson be encouraging Hitler salutes when they were against the Jewish people, and he's funded by the Jewish people? We got to look at the bigger, the much bigger. It's massive. It's not just about the killings, and they want to get emotions going. They want to make you mad. They want to make you have a scapegoat. The baddie is the kid who did it, right? He's vile, yeah. And I wouldn't even I would bring back the death penalty. I don't believe in putting these people in jail for life, because they'll eventually get out. And also, how much is it costing us to put these people in jail? Get rid of them. If you can't deport him because he's born here, right? You can't deport him, then no, I'm not saying you're far right at all. You've not been listening. I can't see the screen properly. No, well, I don't know. Far right is not Tommy Robinson. The far right in this country is virtually non-existent. The actual real far right, it's non-existent. Yeah. The Tommy Robinson stuff, that isn't far right. They're just patriots, and they're just following their leader. They put him on a pedestal, Tommy Robinson, and they do whatever he says that he should do. So you think about it. Tommy Robinson's told by the powers that be, get as many of these people as you can, right? We're going to call you far right, even though we know he's not. And then everybody who's associated with you, anyone that goes to protest that your name is mentioned, then we can call everybody far right, and then we can ban everyone. You've got to look at the bigger picture. Oh, okay, Tang. You got to look at the bigger. Just pull that over a bit, because I can't see my screen. Sorry, that one. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't see the chat properly on my laptop. So this is what I'm trying. I haven't got time to open up the panel, because if I had time, I would open it up and we could come and discuss. But I don't have the time. So I'm just having a quick look at the chat. Give your opinions in the chat, okay? As long as we're all, we're all friendly, or given a constructive criticism. But let's not all get arguing about this, because the problem is, thank you, Jodie. The problem is, folks, is that people are so, it's like Donald Trump, right? How you doing, Lee? David, I hope you're really doing well, my friend. David Banner, if we can all wish him love. He's had cancer and he's been going through chemo, and I think it was your fourth one you're about to have. David Banner, can we just stop everything? Is fought chemo, and he's fighting chemo, and he's literally almost there, if he's not there already. So could we all please send David Banner lots and lots of love, by the way? Just sorry to interrupt, but lots and lots of love to you, mate. We're all thinking of you, and keep fighting, mate. And you're nearly there, or if you might be there, because I've not spoke to you in a week or so. Just want to say that, get that in there, because at the end of the day, this channel, first and foremost, is about us. Right. Yeah, we talk about all these horrible things that we don't want to talk about, right? But we're all friends here. Yeah, we all support each other. So just going back to this, thank you, everyone. Now, you may disagree, I don't know, but this is much, much, much bigger than Tommy Robinson and what has happened in Southport. Much bigger. I sit on the fence usually. It's got emotions going, certainly, hasn't it? Now, they've named this guy today. We're going to get into that in a sec. They've named this guy, right, who did this. Just reading some of the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sweet Freedom. Yeah, Dave's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Known him for a couple of years now, and he's a good guy. I've done all 6. Sorry, just want to interrupt David Banner. As anyone that's moaned about me interrupting about this when you're watching the replay, like, you know, have a heart. I've done all 6. I'm just about to be given the all clear. Thanks. Brilliant. Well done. Thank Dave. I'm over the moon for you, mate. Honestly, lots and lots of love to you and your family. Hi, everyone. Hi, Anne. How you doing? I will reply to you. I started emailing you and then I got distracted again. Right, okay. Yeah, hit the like, guys, if you want me to continue doing this. Hi, Lottie. Hi, Wendy. So, hi, Rose, love, Ted, and K Ultra. So, I don't know what you guys think about this. I don't know whether you feel the same as me, but emotions were running really high, and I feel like some people that say the really far gone conspiracy theorists are going to say that there wasn't any children killed. I'm not saying this, by the way. They're going to say there wasn't any children killed. It was all fake to cause the riot, to bring in this. I personally don't believe that. I think there's 3 grieving families, and there are that they have cited the violence, they have made people angry, they have got people wound up to go and protest, that the police with their riot gear have just got the public even more wound up by you know, with the batons and everything, and it's just caused this massive riot. And then Kier Starmer can come straight out, he weren't out for the Leeds protest, come straight out and say, no, but Rose, you know, that's what they're going to say, which is why I wanted to just put that out there. People will say it, and I don't agree with that, okay? We don't know his motives, this guy. Now, this is why I wouldn't jump on the, this is why I didn't jump on the bandwagon of people saying it was, straight away they were saying it was, you know, a racist, it was an Islamist, and it was a terror attack and all this stuff. We don't know the facts. We don't know the facts. Now, I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just going through my head and I'm trying to think of, right, why did he do it? It looks like his house was right behind him. But it's looking like he could have gone and stabbed children in other places. He chose there. I think personally, and this is just my opinion, and I'm just speculating before people say, oh, you're wrong. I don't know. Just speculating, thinking out loud. Is it a case of he's nuts? The children have been making a lot of noise behind him, because it looked, from what I've read, and we're going to look at it in a minute, his house was behind the studio. Was it a case of, you know, it was like off his face on drugs and, you know, craze, and then didn't like the music and it was too loud, and he went in and said, oh, you know, I don't know, psychopath. Why do people do this shit? We don't know. But violence isn't the answer, and all violence is going to bring in is a police state. And I know it's hard because emotions are going wild. Emotions are going crazy, and people like Tommy Robinson, who's done one now, I think he's in Dubai, and potentially Tank. We don't know. I don't want to go too conspiratorial, right? Danny Tomo probably was nicked, but that doesn't mean he's not part of it. And even if he isn't part of it, he is stoking everything up. I've seen his live stream. We're all heading to London. We're all going to do this. We're all going to do that. And it's just a load of people have gone. They've got angry. They've fought with the police. And where's it got us? We're getting a police state now. Woohoo. Thanks for that. Can people see where I'm coming from? You've got to look at the bigger picture. It may make you feel better that you've set fire to a police van, but it isn't going to bring back the girls. It isn't going to stop the boats, and it isn't going to help our cause. All it is doing now is bringing in a police state. And the thing is as well, we've got to look, and I know people were saying this was wrong yesterday, the media, the average Joe public who it puts on the news when they get home from work, or they're listening to the radio in the car, all they're going to hear, remember it's all programming, all they're going to hear is far right. Yeah, remember, the people's attention span these days is virtually nothing. This is why everything's about shorts. Hi, Bridget. This is why everything's about shorts, 15-second videos. People want their information like that done. They don't want to read a newspaper. They don't want to put the TV on and wait for the news to come on. They go online, they listen to the radio, they listen to YouTube, and they want their news quickly. And they will literally, politicians will use few words to plant stuff in the brain. They did it with hands, face, and space. That was just an example of the sort of mind control that these people are using. And this has been proven. It isn't just, I'm just not just making this up. There's been documents on it, the mind space. They've been using it for years. So they will pick out certain words and they will keep repeating them, like the face space and whatever that was, hands, all that shit, yeah? We had that and it was imprinted into our brains. Now, when you put the news on now or the radio on, you're going to hear violence. You're going to hear far right, which is their favourite thing in the world. You're going to hear Tommy Robinson. So now when there is a protest at a hotel because of what they're doing, or if people are in London demonstrating, the English, the indigenous people in this country, that is what the Joe public is going to associate with, and they're not going to support it. And the only way we're ever going to get anywhere with all this stuff is if we all come together. So we all need to come together and stop this violence. You know, it's just not working. That's my opinion. This has been planned for a long time. It's just like, right, what do people talk about when the Donald Trump, when got in, what's his face, Joe Biden? They talk about the insurrection. Now, if you don't remember that, or if you were younger then, you just got to remember it as the insurrection. There wasn't an insurrection. Anybody who was actually watching it at the time, right, who wasn't listening to what the media was saying. I actually seen it happening. My friend was on the phone to the guy, the Buffalo guy, he knows him really well, and he was talking us through it. They actually let the police into the building to stop the police from being attacked by the Antifa dressed as patriots who weren't part of them, who were behind him. Okay, so they opened the building to get the police in safe. And it's all been turned into an insurrection. Now, what are people going to associate with that time? Insurrection, Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. When actually, that didn't happen. But we've been brainwashed. We've all been well, most of us, not all of us, have been brainwashed to associate Donald Trump, insurrection 2020. Now it's going to be the stabbings, the violence, the riots, the Tommy Robinson, then it's going to be the ID cards came in. Because of that, it's a problem, reaction, solution. And if you guys, I haven't watched, what day is it now? Where are we? Watch UK column. I've not seen yesterday's, but I bet you they're saying the same shit as me. That they're on at 1 o'clock. They're back on YouTube. Big up to UK column. They are, whether you like them or not, they're back on YouTube. They lost their channel during the plague. And they've got it back. There's quite a few channels that got lost during the plague that are back. And they run at 1 o'clock on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So I don't think they were on today. But they were probably talking about this yesterday. Hi, Mima. I was thinking about you, love. How you doing? I'm not seeing you for a while. And they'll be on tomorrow. And listen to them because they've been covering this for years. And they will most likely say the same thing, that Tommy Robinson is part of it all. It's all about divide and conquer. They want us all join. Hi, Joe. Hi, Carlos. They want us all joining little groups. So they want us in either the Tommy Robinson group, in the lefty group, in the rainbow group is what I call them, with all the LGBTs and Qs and all that sort of stuff. They want us in that group. Us working class, genuine, just normal people, members of the public, no matter what colour you are, there's people born here that are black, that are born here, that are second, third, fourth generation Windrush. These people These are just normal people like us, but they want us to fight with them. We need to all come together, regardless of colour, right? We need to all come together and say enough is enough. Anyway, that's my thoughts on all this shit. Watch this space, folks. We're going to get into the... All right, taking dog out. And I'm going to show you the killer. Okay, alleged killer has been unmasked today. We're going to have a look at that now, but I really wanted to bring you that press conference. Once I found out that was coming, I just set up a stream straight away. I just wanted to, I know it's painful, right? I know it's painful. Yeah, the Q stuff, that's another perfect example, Tink. The Q. Where did that get anyone trusting the plan? All it did was lead people down a garden path, like what Tommy Robinson's doing, make them believe that there is a saviour and they're going to come and save them and everything's okay. How stupid do all the people now who went to those riots, who thought Tommy Robinson was the be-all and end-all, and they've ended up with a criminal record now and he's buggered off. Oh, and ID cards to boot. Exactly, Paula. No. Really? Wow, Joe. Right, so we're going to watch this now. This is this vile... Isn't it hot? I've just washed my hair and I've got a towel on my head. Alan Edge isn't here, is he? Right, I keep forgetting to... Richard Butler got me a sparkly new microphone and I've still not put... I need to get it off the wardrobe. I can't reach it. I'll get Al to bring it. So thank you to Richard Butler. And thank you to anyone who helps out with stuff. Like Nikki sent a voucher for the field for the dog. That was really kind. We've used all that up now, but thank you. Just so I say thank you to people who are just really kind, you know. Right, killer unmasked. So they've only showed him as a kid here. Now, the reason why they've unmasked him, they should have done this in the first place, is because he's only a few days off 18. And under 18, they cannot name him and not show him. But because he's been in court today, he's appeared in the Crown Court today, not the magistrates in the Crown Court. He's been charged with murder. Now, because he's nearly 18, the judge has said we can lift his name and his picture. And this is another reason why people were saying to me, oh, this is his name, this is his picture in the last few days. It's one of those hair towel things. Right, sorry. Okay, I'm going to get distracted again. This is another reason why I didn't want to name him, right? And I didn't want to show you the picture. They did now, Tank, but not yesterday, not officially. So we had a dog walker. He used to wake up. Oh, no, but he doesn't. He's part of it. He's not stupid. Yeah, good cop, bad cop. Real pick, not childhood. Right, I'm getting distracted again by the chat, so I'm not going to read the chat. Now, there's a reason why I got sent his name days ago. I got sent different names. Now, the reason why I didn't name him from what I was given, and the reason why I didn't want to show his picture because I was sent stuff, is because I don't want to mess up an investigation. Hello, Beth. Hi, Jacqueline. I didn't want to mess up an investigation, right? Now, if I and others had named him, which people had on Facebook and everything else, there's even been YouTubers and ex-users in the newspaper today talk because they've been slammed. They could ruin a trial. If this wasn't officially named and I named him, I could mess up an active trial because he hadn't even been charged. He was just held on suspicion. He's now been charged. Now, I know the court system sucks, but it's just how it is. Now he's been unmasked. Now I will name him. Now I will give my theories on what the hell's happened. But I hope you guys can understand. I did not want to name him. People were going to me yesterday. Yeah, but we've sent you the picture. We've sent you the name. I know that. But I'm not going to sit here and potentially mess up a court case. So I hope people can understand that. Now he's been officially named by a judge. It's in the newspapers. Now I can show you who it is. But I didn't want to say a word. And I hope you can appreciate that as well. And shame on the people that didn't. I know a lot of people did. They named him. They showed his picture. Yeah. That is going to help him, because he could get a loophole and get off with it and say, right, I haven't got a fair trial because I've already been named. Do you get what I'm saying? Tommy Robinson went to jail for that, remember? Right, so let's watch this video now. Here we go. Come on. Sorry about the ads, guys. It's annoying as hell, isn't it? Right, hold on. Yeah, the other children are stable. Just want to add quickly, I've got to interrupt, just to let you all know, there was other children who were critical 2 days ago. The stabbing on Monday. They're actually in a stable condition. 8 other children. There's 3 children died, but let's not forget there's 8 other children and 2 adults who were critical. They are at least stable now. All right. That's a good thing, because I thought there could be more. So this was him in court today. If the Jamie Bulger killers happened today, they would protect them. You know that, don't you? They would say mental health, mental health. They wouldn't have been named. 10 counts of attempted murder, possession of a bladed article. Even if he goes to jail, he'll be out in half, or they'll put him in a mental hospital. Well done to the judge. What's that? Tiff Barn Road. This is another problem. They want to censor the internet because people are going to say, these criminals are going to say, we can't get a fair trial. We can't get a fair trial because I've been named. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, all I'm going to say is, everyone, have a think about this, what you're typing online. If you name someone, especially someone like me, like I'm just typing in a chat anonymous, but if I'm on a YouTube channel talking to a couple of 100 people and I name him, then I could then be in trouble. And I don't want to mess up. It is an open and shut case, Jodie, but I just want this to, I don't want to, right? I'm not making bad faith arguments at all. I don't want to mess up his, now he's been named, we can all name him, we can talk about it. This is total scumbag. How can you deport someone? I don't know what you want about Poogle Nation, but that's exactly what I've just said. No, they've named him today, Joe. He's been named. So if the papers are naming him, I'm happy to name him. But I ain't going to mess up a trial. No way. Yeah, I did that. Did it ages ago. Okay. Surprised no one's talking about, you know, he lives in Banks, Lancashire. But he's from Cardiff. What? Hang on a minute, folks. Right. I thought this was in Merseyside. Is it? Is this in Merseyside? Southport is in Merseyside. Yeah, I've got to do the right thing, you know. I'm glad you guys can understand. And then yesterday I got told, oh, you've got his name, you're protecting it. I'm not protecting him. I've got to be careful what I'm doing, guys. The thing is though, where'd you deport him? He's born here. This is what I'm saying. You can't go around deporting people that are born here, regardless of where their parents come from. Right. I'm a little bit confused. I was told, and we were all told yesterday that his house was behind the dance studio. What? Sorry? What does that mean? Was that what you just bought?
No, that was Robert. I didn't know it ended.
How much is it?
199 a month.
Oh yeah. Right, okay, I'll sort it. Sorry about this. I'll sort it now, okay.
You can get another free Robert.
Right, let me do it now. Try and put it back through. Sorry about this, guys. As I say, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not usually live now. I jumped on, but I obviously got family stuff going on as well. Right, I'm gonna put it in now. Just 1 sec. I'm just sorting out something for my little boy. Okay, right, it's in there now, bud. Okay, right. Sorry about this. Okay, we're back looking at the chat. Yeah, they did show a photo of him. So I hope you guys can understand why I'm having to be really careful. And hello, Pebble Dashing. At the end of the day, I'm not. Anyone that thinks I'm supporting this scumbag, I don't know what to say really. I'm dead against this government. I'm dead against the Uni Party. I'm against the globalists. Full stop. But going back to this, so if this is his house in Lancashire, it is Southport in Merseyside. Hi, Squirrel. Is that right? Right. Just help. Hi, Kathy. Can you just help me out here, guys? So Southport is in Merseyside, correct? Is that right? So his parents' house, right? Thank you, MK Ultra. Appreciate that. Thanks, Clarice. Right, okay. I'm just reading the chat now. So Sid, hello, mate. Right. We were reading 2 days ago that the house that he was left from in the taxi was literally behind the dance studio. Now they're saying that he lives in Lancashire. They're very close. Thank you, Kathy. So is this his parents' house, or is this, so does he live with his parents then? So he left Lancashire and drove all the way to Merseyside. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, here we go. So he lives in Banks, but he's from Cardiff. So he's been remanded in custody until October the 25th. Is that when his court starts, I'm guessing? He appeared. Now, Magistrates Court. Now, I read that's well. I've read this morning that he was at Liverpool Crown Court this morning. So again, what's the matter?
I'm talking Robert.
Go on. What did he just say? I missed that. His smile. Is that right? Look at him. Look at him, a tramp with his fuzzy hair. I bet he's not washed. Look at him. He just looks like a druggy tramp who hasn't even bothered to cut his hair or anything. Covered his face. Who's this? Did that just say he was smiling then? What? I was watching that, thanks. Honestly, newspapers. So, oh, that's nice. Just put the fan on. Yeah, he comes across as like he's just got out of bed. Look. Don't think he paid for it. I'm looking. Hi, Sal. I'm not defending the little butcher, but yeah. What? I'm just trying to. He refused to pay the taxi fare as well. I can't. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into the latest story on it in a moment. I still can't. My heart has gone out to that. To the taxi driver. I can't stop thinking about him. Can you imagine? I was just saying, you know that horrible, vile piece of shit scum that should be dead. Who was in court today? Who killed those children?
Oh, right.
Do you know that he got a taxi to go and kill the children? Can you imagine? He didn't pay the driver, but can you imagine how that driver feels now? And he dropped him off at the door. He's got to live with that for the rest of his life. That I can't. Honestly, I know you guys probably think there's other things to worry about, but right now, I just, my heart's breaking for the taxi driver, because he's got to live with that, knowing that he drops this sicko off to kill children. Obviously, he didn't know, and obviously all of his family are going to say to him, "You didn't know," but he's got to live with that, hasn't he? Right, let's get the latest. Daddy's just come back with Gizmo. Yeah, what's with the young photo? You know, are they trying to make us feel sorry for him? Or is there just no photos of him now? Which is, you know, it's weird, isn't it? Maybe there's no photos. Sorry, I'm just putting the towel back on my head. Might have gone a bit muffled then. Apologies. Oh, right, so the teenager... Now, this is getting really confusing. Who's from a nearby village? No, he's from Cardiff. Oh, born in Cardiff. Right, if he's born in Cardiff, I'm guessing he's got a Welsh accent. No matter what colour you are, if you're born somewhere, boy was charged with murder. I'm just trying to go through if we know anything new. Right, so we've got footage here. Now, why was there nobody egging the van like they were in the John Venables and what's his face? The Bulger Killers. Okay. Right, so there's Southport up there. And these where the riots were. So what is the Hartley? This is what I was, the Hartlepool. It says magistrates again there. Now, I was told Crown Court this morning. So it's just constant. So Aldershot, Southend-on-Sea, London, Manchester, Southport and Hartlepool. This is where all these they call it riots, have been. Yeah, look, with many related, not all of them. Some people are sick to death. They want the boat stopped. They want to end the hotels. They want people deported. Oh, thank you. Someone just sent. Oh, Jane. Oh, thank you, darling. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my chat. Ah, with the killer's past, I would question his parents' ideologies. Yeah, but you can't just deport people. This is what I'm saying. It's like it's probably never been there. I know what you're saying, Tree. We get that a lot, Tree. But is it T? Get that a lot, but they're different species, right? You know. And the thing is, if I start saying all that, then I'm as bad. I'm doing what the far left want me to do, which is to blame people on colour. That's what they want me to do, so they can then call me far right. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, and it's very easy to be typing in a chat and rant like that. But I'm not going to be drawn in and then agree with that, because all it's going to do, it's all going to come back on me, and then you're giving them ammunition. Refugees from the massacre in Rwanda. Is that what they were, Clarice? Exactly, Sweet Freedom. That guy did the Nottingham killings last year, and he was all planned, and they got him on mental health. It's sickening. Yeah, exactly, T. They admitted they are working. This is what I'm saying. The police handled this horrendously, right? The police were an absolute joke. They came out immediately and said, not terrorism, literally straight away. And I was saying this the day it happened. What's all this about? Not terrorism. Why say it so quickly? All monsters and families of extreme ideology should be deported no matter what colour. So what do you do then if you've got someone that's born here who is white, who's converted to Islam and is going around killing people? Where would you deport them? Exactly, T. They escaped the Rwandan genocide engineered by France back in the 90s. Yeah, Dave, we see the trap, yeah. Dave gets it. This thing about left and right, you got to remember that they're both sides, they're both cheeks of the same arse. Far left, far left and far right are pretty similar now. They all hate the Jews. This is just ludicrous. It's all about hatred. Yeah, a lot of Rwanda is Christian. But Islam is taking over most countries. Send them to Ukraine. It is taking over. It really is. Like, look at like the Middle East. That was Christian. Look at Iran. That was Christian. Now look at it. I've been friends when I was little. It's extreme now. Sorry, I've missed something. How the so-called right hate the Jews. Exactly, the real far right. Not talking about the Tommy Robinson lot. That's not far right. Yeah, Joe, I agree. The thing is, they want us all fighting. They want us all arguing. Yeah, Jenna, exactly. It's just a fact, guys, that this is. I don't want to get into religion. This is what I didn't want to make it about religion, because that's what they want. Yeah. Now, people, for example, the violence now, they're going around attacking mosques. But that's okay, Joe. You can support Tommy Robinson. It doesn't mean we have to like not get on, you know. But I can just tell you my own experience. I used to support Tommy Robinson, right, years ago. But now I know, hello, Gio. You're another one that got banned back then by somebody who kept banning people in my chat. She's gone now. So you're all right. Michael English, hello. All predicted. Yeah, exactly, Tank. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Hang on, I'm just reading the chat. I support Tommy. He don't hate Jews. I feel like you've told. What? What was that? I didn't say Tommy hated Jews. Tommy loves the Jews. He pays him. I support Tommy. He don't hate Jews. I feel like you'd be told something and you believe it's a hateful person. No, you misunderstand me at all. Tommy Robinson is paid by the Jews. He doesn't hate Jews at all. He owes me a tenner, Alan Edge. Now, all I'm going to say is that Tommy Robinson, I used to watch him years ago, right? I used to support him when he was exposing the grooming gangs and, you know, exposing things that were going on in this country that I knew about in the bloody 90s. These grooming gangs were doing this in the 90s, right? Thank you, Beth. They, you understand the game better now. Yeah, Dave. So basically, Tommy Robinson comes along, gets himself arrested, then he asks for donations to help him get out. People give him donations. Then he goes and gets himself arrested again. He knows exactly what he's doing. He walks into things and then cries why he gets arrested, right? So he was asking for money. I'm going to say this one more time for people that missed it yesterday. Tommy Robinson said in exactly, Pete, what was it? 2019, I think it was. It was just before the lockdown. He wanted to buy a battle bus and take his word on the road. So what he wanted the world to know that what Islam was doing, the grooming gangs, and expose that, which is all happening, right? And I was supportive of that. I was like, yeah, he said, if I can get on the road, yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, David Gray, you're not looking at it right. You're looking at how I used to look at it, right? Just let me just say this. I'm guessing you're quite new to him. So he would then say, oh, I've had to move out, I need donations. He would say, I want to make a documentary, I need donations. I'm going to buy this bus. And I'm going to go on the road, and he made a video. I wish I'd downloaded this video, because at the time I was quite new to this, and I didn't really understand how to download videos. I wish I would have at the time. And he was walking around this bus, and he was going, I'm going to buy this bus. I need 30 grand. You can get it tonight for 30 grand. I think it was a live stream. And he was all hyped up. He was proper coked up. He was all talking really fast at 100 mile an hour. Anybody remember this? Anybody was around me at the time? Anybody remember this? The battle bus? And he was proper like coked up, and he was asking for I think it was around 2019. He was asking for donations. I sent a tenner. Did you say you sent 20 quid, Alan Edge? And we all sent money. Yeah, he did make Shalom. Yeah. That was supposed to be on the grooming gangs 5 years ago. I'm reading chat again, sorry. And he asked for donations. I sent a tenner. I didn't really have much money, but I did that. Alan Edge sent 20. I can probably put a few bits together, Sawun. And maybe we all coughed up, and he said to us, I've got 5 grand cash from one of my mates. I forgot what his name was now. He used to work with him, and then he came out and exposed him after. One of his buddies worked with him. What's his fucking name? It might come back to me. He said, I've had 5 grand cash from a donor, and I'm funding the rest. And we all sent this money. And then the next day, he disappeared. And he shut down his own YouTube channel and said that he'd been removed from YouTube. No, it said this was closed by the owner. Didn't get it closed. Oh, okay, didn't send a penny. Okay. I remember, says Gio. There you go. Gio was around back then. I've known Gio for years. Yeah, years. So this never happened. Now, none of I was really excited for this battle bus, because I'm going to go around all the cities. We were in a live stream. I said, are you going to come to York, And he's like, I'm going to go around all the cities and everything. And the battle bus never happened, right? I was like, where's the battle bus? Where's the battle bus? Where's Tommy gone? Tommy disappeared. Just vanished, went quiet. Then a year later, just under a year later, his right-hand man, and I can't remember his bloody name, he went live and he said, I'm sorry, but I've got to tell you the truth. Do you remember the battle bus? And we were all like, yeah. He said, he got given it to him. He got given the battle bus. He literally took all of our money. It never got bought. Now, people need to say, no, it wasn't Danny Tomo. It was Paul something, I think. Was it Paul? People say, when you're in the next live stream, mention the battle bus. Where's the battle bus? That's just one instance. At that moment then, I seen exactly what he was. He said he was going to put a studio in it, Sophie. He said he was going to put TV in it. He actually was on the bus. He said, I'm going to buy this bus. And he was walking around it. And he was like, I'm going to put a telly there. I'm going to put a little studio and some chairs. And I'm going to, no, I don't think it's Paul thought. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that here. There's a delivery here. And Kelly remembers, I'm not calling it the battle bus. He called it the battle bus. Okay. Just leave it there. Yeah. Nice one. Cheers. Delivery. And then we were all like excited, because he said, I'm going to take my show on the road. He said, I'm going to bring the grooming, all the grooming stuff that he was exposing at the time. He said, I'm going to bring it to the public, because a lot of people didn't yet know about this. A lot of people didn't know about the grooming gang thing. So, because I'm from Birmingham, I've seen it with my own eyes. They've been doing it. I knew it was in the 90s, right? They tried to get me. They were all taxi. If you go to Birmingham, I don't know if it's still there now, but there was a taxi rank at the back of Latif's. Anyone that's from Birmingham knows Latif's, yeah? And there was a big taxi rank along there. Whenever me and my mates used to go into town, when I was about 15-ish, they used to come out. The Muslims did. And they used to try and hit on you. They used to hit on all the girls all the time. It's been going on for years and years and years. He didn't expose nothing. I already knew about it. And that's why Tommy got me so roped into supporting him originally, was because he was talking about the things that I had witnessed as a child. I witnessed some horrendous things with what these people were doing, right? They were, and if they, I'm so sorry to hear that, Kelly, but they got hold of somebody I know, and she got pregnant at 15 and had a baby off him, and they dumped her. They threw her out, and they left her on the streets. It's horrible. He wasn't little. So, but we don't have to agree, Joe. Well, we don't have to all agree. So, when he was talking about this, and he was asking for donations for this battle bus, he was calling it. I won't call it that. It didn't happen. No, it weren't Paul Golding. I know it's another scumbag as well. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. It might not have been a Paul. It'll take me a while to remember, though. It's been years. Anyway, so that was one thing. And then a few months ago, I can't say who, somebody on here, I will, one of our very good friends, and I'm not going to name them because it's not up to me. He got given it to him. He got given it to him. The person who was helping him at the time came forward and said he got given it to. Yeah, Lucy Brown has got some stories. I spoke to Lucy Brown years ago. So one of our people that we've known for years on this channel, I'm not going to name it or give any details, but Tommy Robinson, she came on recently and said in the chat, so I'm not ruining anything, because she said he ruined my life, my family's life. So I contacted her privately. I said, what's the matter? And she said, he's just ruined our life. He has actually scammed a vulnerable person, a young vulnerable person with learning difficulties, out of his life savings. As soon as he started donating, Tommy seen he had the money. He even met up with him. He met up with him, took all of his money, 20 grand savings, and all of his family was saying, no, don't, you're being taken in. And Tommy was all over this lad, young lad, under 25, so classed as vulnerable because he's got learning difficulties, took all his money. And as soon as the money run out, Tommy dropped him like that, gone. This guy's heartbroken. He idolised the bloke. That is your Tommy Robinson. And that's not even his name. It's Stephen Yaxley Lennon. It's not even his name. And he is convicted wife beater, and he is a convicted fraudster, but he's never been convicted for racism, which is what they call him, a racist. He's never been convicted for that. So I don't think he's a racist. It's horrible, Kathy. One day she might tell the truth. She might, I don't know, but she's a lovely lady we've known for many years on this channel, and she's not been around for about a year hardly, and that's why. It's ruined all of her, all the family are all arguing now because they were like, we told you so. It's horrible, horrible. What are people saying in chat? Yeah. So look, guys, just remember, don't have false idols. Don't idolize anyone. Even Jesus said, never idolize a man. Yeah. No man should be idolized. What a vile thing to say to a young person. Sorry, I've missed some of this now. I don't know. Yeah, you see, that's this 14 thing. I thought that had gone now, Michael. Honestly. Wasn't he done? Hang on. Money laundering. Yeah, he was. No, Joe, honestly, sweetheart, like I said before, everyone's got their own mind and they can do what they want, you know? But I'm just saying, yeah, it's deep state. He wanted you to sign a petition so he can get all your details. He wanted you to sign up to Rebel Media so he can... Do you know, I signed up to Rebel Media when you worked for Rebel Media, Tommy Robinson. Do you know I still get spammed every single day now? And every single day I report it. I report it as spam and I unsubscribe, and I still get asked for money. Nearly every single day I get asked for money by his paymasters. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, T. Yeah, I don't know. Paz never used to like him. He does now. Kevin Carroll. Did he have a bald head? Maybe. Anyway, so I'm sorry for those of you who had to suffer the Kier Starmer thing, because it's painful. We know it's painful. I'm just going to see if anything else has happened since. I've just put if you haven't watched the Hugh video that I've put out recently as well, please check out that. The Hugh, oh, I hate that man. There's been a big prisoner swap as well, so that's taken over the news. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a live stream on Hugh. I don't know when though. I don't know when, because I've got a Curious News still not done for tomorrow night, but I'm out tomorrow night, so that ain't going to happen. I'm not going to get home till late, so that ain't going to happen. But I do want to do, if I can, a live stream on the Hugh stuff. But I'm just going to give you an example now, right? So this is the Daily Mail. Now, the Daily Mail, I know, I'm sorry, Jane. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't want to talk about what he'd said without listening to what he'd said. Now, this is an example now, right? So this is the Daily Mail. Now, they're classed as a right-wing publication, right? A lot of the old people think that they are the voice of the people, right? They're all part of the same thing. Right. Oh, okay, Joe, my love. Joe, you're right, darling. We can, me and my husband don't agree on things, you know. I think it's healthy. Who wants an echo chamber? Too many people want an echo chamber these days. And then what happens is that everyone agrees on everything. And then when someone has their own opinion, they get thrown out. And that's not what we do here. We're all friends. We can all agree to disagree, you know. There's probably people I like that you don't like, you know. So it is. This is just an example now. So this is the Daily Mail. So this is the sort of stuff that you would normally see in the Guardian, right? But because it's come from the government, all the papers, left and right, which they're all the same anyway. Yeah, look, Kier Starmer vows to treat far-right thugs like football hooligans. And again, this is in the Daily Mail, guys. This is the right-wing publication. As he unveils new police crackdown in the wake of chaotic rioting on Britain's streets following Southport knife attack. And PM warns, here we go, social media bosses about violence whipped up online. They are now going to start putting their online safety bill into place. Do you get what I'm saying, folks? He's announced to treat rioters like football hooligans. He's saying there was mayhem in London, Hartlepool, Manchester, scores of arrests. They're showing all this. Yeah. Now, when the Leeds things happened, he was nowhere to be seen. Now, Tommy Robinson is not stupid. He knows what's going to happen, right? He knows that when all this happens, that this is all going to come out and it's going to look far right. Anyone, like if Tommy Robinson was genuine, he wouldn't do this. He'd say, look, guys, hold your nerve. Let's do it properly. And what that should be is peaceful, organised, Right, I'm going to go to the Guardian now. Right. Watch this. I'm just going to go to the Guardian. I never look at the Guardian. And I'm going to go and see what they've got to say about this, what Kier Starmer just said. Hi, Blackjack. I still need to do another Fabian. We'll do our Fabian because, right, okay, here we go. So this is how the Guardian confirms new violent disorder unit after thugs rioted in wake of attack live. Okay, so here we go. Your Guardian, your left, your Daily Mail, your right, wall to wall, left to right. They are all calling the rioters, or whatever you want to call them, protesters, thugs and far right. Can people not see what's happening? It's to play into the hands so they can bring in ID cards to protect the public from the baddie far right. When actually they weren't far right. They were just angry, frustrated British people, English people who've had enough. But they've been led down the garden path to cause trouble. Do you remember the lockdowns? Wall to wall, left to right, we all had to follow the stupid rules. They're all part of the same. There was no opposition to the government doing all the lockdowns. There was no opposition. Kier Starmer supported it. He wanted more. Now, Lee Anderson's apparently come out now and tweeted Kier Starmer and said, you're not reading the room right. So I'm grateful for that. More freedoms will be taken. I know it's frustrating. I know everyone's angry. I'm angry. But I just really, really, really don't want to give them any ammunition to take our freedoms away. He did want more, Jane. Yeah. Now, let's not forget the online safety bill. In 5 years' time, thanks to idiots online and idiots on the streets causing trouble with the police, I won't be able to talk about this. I'll be banned. I hope you guys can understand my opinion. You guys have got your opinion. You know, supporting Tommy Robinson or writing at the police is a short-term gain. You know, let's get the police gone. It's a short-term gain, but in the whole, in the bigger picture, it's playing into their hands. This needs to be a grassroots movement. I think there should be protests outside the hotels. There should be people. If I live down south, I said this yesterday, people should be down on the coast when these boats are coming in. You imagine if 1,000, 2,000 Englishmen went down to the coast, just giving you an example, yeah, and stood there and stopped them. What they're going to do? Think about it. What they're going to do? That's where we needed. Not attacking the police and setting fire to police vans. What's that going to do? But if we all went down where they're coming in, then what? The news would have to report on that. There should be, Jane. There should be. That's where I think, and we've got Nigel Farage down there as well, which is, whether you like him or hate him, at least he's down there. And he's talking about these things, whether you believe he's a shill or not. At least he's talking about it in the public. Now, Nigel Farage, if he agrees with Tommy Robinson, now he's going to be called far right as well, you see. He chose you because you are strong soul. What's happened, darling? Anyway, guys, give your kids lots and lots and lots and lots of cuddles, because there's 3 families who've lost their children and all this, and let's not forget that. Let's focus on that. Starmer will step down. We'll probably have Diane Abbott. Can you imagine? Yeah, they're taking away the money from the disabled people and the pensioners. I've always said we should look after our disabled and our pensioners, and everybody else should go to work. I work my arse off 6 days a week. Yeah, I will do, Dan. I have got one. It's never really used it. It's been there for years. There's a bloody pigeon on my aerial on my sky dish. TV's gone off. Yeah, vouchers. It's disgusting. Now, if you notice that Labour wouldn't talk about this during the election, because they knew they were going to carry it on. They've continued it. Nobby, the little veteran, and Chris expose the dinghy boats. You're about Active Patriot? Yeah. Nobby came along after Active Patriot. Active Patriot was probably the first one down there. And then Busker Patriot jumped on it as well, I remember. Thank you, Penny. Oh, well, thank you, Sweet Freedom. First said it's from Wales, then said Lancashire, then they said Rwanda. Now the photo shows very delayed. 17-year-old. I agree, Brian. It's all over the shop, isn't it? Do you know the pro-Palestine stuff? Oh, I worry. Oh, yeah, I know. It's bad, Bridget. It's really bad. Well, they'll have a game because if you're genuinely disabled, they're going to have a game, aren't they? When you can't walk. Like, I try not to worry, you know. I work my ass off. And when I remember when I'd be working, I'd be like, people just sat on their asses doing nothing. And then when it came to me, when I ended up disabled, it was like, well, thank you, T. We do try. And we don't all agree, mate. All right? We don't all agree. And I like your England flag because I'm an English patriot, Anglo-Saxon, through and through. I love my country. And I'm not British, I'm English. The record, 6 days, Jane, you're right, love. The pro-Palestine marches. Do you remember, though, that Rishi Sunak did come out and say, after about 3 months of it, oh, we need to stop it now. Do you remember that? That was it. But can't you see that they've been wanting this? Kier Starmer's rubbing his hands with glee at all these riots because he can then use it to get in his ID card. Remember Tony Blair's pulling his strings. He's not in charge. Tony Blair's in charge. Rishi Sunak was never in charge. David Cameron was in charge. And it proved that when he came back and became a Lord and became Foreign Secretary. You couldn't make this shit up, folks. I said all along, David Cameron is in charge. Next thing you know, comes back and gets knighted so he can be Foreign Secretary. David Cameron has been in charge. Boris Johnson took over and then he had a coup. He got rid of Doris and got Russia in because that was David Cameron. Blair's in charge now. Obama's been in charge in America. It's the same psychopathic, narcissist, egotistical maniacs that are in charge of this country. Oh, don't talk about Neasley. Right. Well, MK Ultra gets this shit. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I cover like entertainment, what's going on in the news. I do cover like these sort like news, entertainment, but I do a lot of animal content and it's very varied. And sometimes people say, oh, I don't want to see that. I want to see that. Now, in the past, I've put votes out. Do you want to see more animals? Do you want to see less animals? And people just say they like a bit of everything. So I am pretty hot on politics. I've been following politics for like 30 years now. So I do my politics, talk about what's going on in the news, but I also try and put a lot of animal stuff out because you need it to balance it out. Otherwise you end up going mad. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've been chatting now for an hour and a half and I've got so much to do. They are therapeutic. So I bring you, for example, I'll bring you Kier Starmer and send you all into a rage, and then I'll put some animal shorts on to calm you all down. Oh, well, thank you, Bev. But everyone's welcome here. Doesn't matter what. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Love animals. A beautiful dog died 5th September last year. He was a beautiful and loyal. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry. 18 years old. Yeah, I have got some cams. Oh, Dave, thank you, bud. Oh, yeah, we're very, very loving and very kind here. We all try and get on. No one's perfect. I get things wrong. We all do. It's if you own that shit. Excuse me. Are you doing a live on the perpetrator? You mean on this? It's not. I don't know enough about him yet. The thing is, though, Jane, I'm worried to mess up the case. That I'm scared to mess the case up. We've been named. We've had a photo of him. Obviously, if I can gather some more information, yeah. But I think we'd do a call-in show. I had a staffie. She lived till she was 19. She died in 2004, I think, 2003. Get the cams up and running. I've got 2 cams going, but I don't know how to live stream from them. But I've got hedgehogs in the garden, Dan. If you're into your wildlife and stuff, we have 6 hedgehogs, 1 squirrel that's had babies, loads of birds. We have red kites over us, and then I go out and do walks. I was at the canal last night, but a lot of my walking, not all of it, but some of my content is on members only. So if you want to be a member, you can. And any YouTube, it goes through YouTube, and then anything they send me, I just spend on the animal stuff, like the wildlife stuff. Do you, Dan? It's relaxing, isn't it? I'm not one of these channels that's going to gas you all up, right? I'm trying to stay calm in this crazy shit. During the lockdown, it was like, I know everyone's angry, but that's not going to get us anywhere. Let's just chill, man. Chill. Put your views on flea treatment for dogs. Interesting one. I tend to use lavender oil and cinnamon oil, citrus oil, and just spray it on a brush and brush it through. And so far, nothing on him. Though I do treat him. He has medication for worms, but which you can't really you can't treat worms with oils, but things like that, ticks and that, he does have treatment. He has to have a tablet, but I try and do my best on brushing the oils through his coat to stop them, a natural repellent. No ticks have jumped on him. I do as well. Damascus, what's it called? Demacaeus earth. I can't say it. But yeah, I'm glad you've joined us, T. I really am. Thanks for being here. Oh, shit, hang on a minute. I've just dropped something. Hold on. Hi, Irish Raider. Hang on a sec, guys. I've just dropped something. I've got so much to do now, so I need to crack on with what I was doing. Right, okay. Pauline, right, I just want to tell you this really, really quickly before we go. Yeah? You can get some stuff on Amazon if you type in natural insect repellent, but even so, you get some lavender oil. Yeah? Let me just find it for you. Hold on, darling. Just give me a sec. I'm just going to try and help out. I know you're all, you can, anyone, the stream's ended now, folks, but I'm still here helping out. Pauline, hang on, let me go back. Pauline, yeah, hang on. Right, let me just show you what I got. It might work, it might not. Bear with me. The stream's over, guys, okay? So if you're coming in for anything, it's done now. I'm just helping out. You want DEET free. Now, DEET, D-E-E-T, is the nasties, okay? This is what I use. I'm just going to get you the link. Yeah. So far, so good. Take care, Jane. Oh, it might not post. Is it too long? Oh, God. It's not posted. I hate this. Does this? Let me just try a different way of doing it. Why does it do that? Right. I'm going to get the screen up and then you can go and have a look. Guys, if you're looking for something natural. Right. This stuff here, DEET free. That's the nasties. 100% natural. Okay. I'm always get covered in them as well. They hate me. They actually no, they love me. Right. So all this jungle and that, this is all full of chemicals. So if you want to get something natural, you need to go for something like this one. And it's got oils in it, citrulline oils. So it's called Incognito Botanical PMD. Let me just see if I can. get the name of it. It won't let me share the link. I don't know why. This is what I use. It's called that. Okay. Or you can literally just get some. I haven't got my glasses on. Oh, I had a fight for wasp yesterday. And also, just if you can, oils, lavender oil. If you got any lavender oil, they hate lavender. They hate citrus. Some lavender oil. Spray a bit on your clothes. A little bit in your hair, and maybe in your hairbrush, and just brush it through your hair. Lavender oil, citrus oil, cinnamon oil. They hate that as well. So yeah, and then if you've got any pooches, you can put in natural flea. I'll show you what I get for my dog. I can't spell. I'm sure it'll work it out. I'll show you what I get for my pooch. Where's it gone now? It's not coming up now, but you get, what is it? It's got like 7 different oils in it, but you just want something like, yeah, look, lavender and tea tree oil. Don't put tea tree on animals. That's wrong. That they shouldn't be doing that. But something like that. Look, insect and flies repellent, lemongrass. That's got tea tree. I've been told not to put tea tree on dogs. Just put natural repellent into Amazon, and you'll get loads of stuff. There's one there, peppermint oil spray, can be used as a repellent. So fleas and ticks and bugs and flies, they all hate oils. Well, some essential oils. Yeah, get some lavender. They hate it. You got 3 dogs. I tell you what I'll do, Pauline. Keep an eye on my community tab, and I'll post it in a bit. How's that? I'll post the links for you, darling. Do you know my community tab? Keep an eye on it. There you go, Willie. Right, I'm going to go now. Just stop, baby. Oh, my God, that's so funny. Right, I'm going to go now. Look up Pablo Fox Feeder. How do I know? I've seen that before. What is it? Is that a channel? That looks familiar. Okay, Pauline, love. Right, then. Yeah, lavender in the garden. Yeah, keep an eye on my community tab, Pauline. I'll tell you what, I'll do it now because I'll forget. Because I've got my brain, I've got so much to do. I've now got to do a huge report for something. So I've got that to do. And then I've got to go and dry my hair. And then I've got to take the dog out. Yeah. Then I've got to come back, get my son ready for bed. Lots to do. Sort the animals out, my bunnies. Bunnies need feeding and stuff. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, it's all by design. This is all coming in, folks. And yeah, it's crazy shit. I'll see you all in the next one. The next one will probably be just a chill one. You know, keep an eye out. If you're not subbed to the Curious Bunny, please sub to the Curious Bunny, my other channel, because I do stuff on there as well. That's mostly, like I say, conspiracy, but anything that's like a bit out there, or not just that. I do outdoor stuff. I might cover a little bit of Antarctica, UFOs, Bigfootsies, and sometimes if I'm just out and about, like coming across forests and stuff, I'll just go live over there. So if you're not subbed to the I have got the webcam. I don't know how to turn it into a live stream. And can someone drop my Curious Bunny? It's all right, I'll do it. Yeah, that kid does look like a psychopath, doesn't he? You know, that I've just looked at my thumbnail then. 100 likes. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate that. Right, if you're not subbed, please sub to that channel there. That is my other channel. Take care, everyone. Bye, little George. Oh, well, thank you, Pauline. I appreciate you, love. Show us your head towel. No. Take care, Anne. Anne, I started writing out your email yesterday and then a delivery came and then I got distracted again. See? I'll speak to you all soon and I'm going to go and put it on my community tab now. All the links will be there, Pauline. All right. I'll do an animal one and a human one, all natural. Right. Take care, guys. And you can spray this around the house. I spray it in my window, on the curtains. Yeah. And also, if you want to get rid of ants, but you don't want to use poisons, some of this domestic, I can't say earth. Oh, thank you, Kelly. It's called I can't say it, but it's natural and it gets rid of insects. So you can, I just dot a bit around the house outside on the path, and they don't come in. Thanks, Rose. I really appreciate all your support as well, love. You've been a really good friend. Appreciate you. I don't know, Space Cat must be out today. Take care, everyone. That's it. There you go. Good to see you, Bev, love. See you soon, Dan. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. And I love the flag, as I say, Anglo-Saxon. We are a dying breed and we need to keep going. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.